guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff with the Collector Car Network, and today we're going to be taking a look at a 2008 Spyker C8 Spyder. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but this car is just one of 140 produced of a company that's no longer in business. But before we get into that, first, a quick word from our sponsor.
Today's video is sponsored by Land Air Sea. Keep tabs on all your valuable assets from the palm of your hand. Remember, with Land Air Sea, theft is temporary. Visit landairSea.com to order your Land Air Sea GPS unit for your classic vehicle.
So today I'm standing in front of a 2008 Spyker C8 Spyder, and it's finished in a beautiful yellow color that looks particularly nice in the sun, kind of a pearl finish to it. But these are very unique, very quirky vehicles that have a unique blend of both automotive and aeronautical bits and components that make them very unique for their styling. This particular one has some modifications that would not have been in the US car standard. Now, let's talk about Spyker, the company. So a lot of people think Spyker only existed in the early 2000s, when these cars first sort of started production in 1999, but that's not true. Spyker actually has some roots back to the early 20th century, in the early 1900s, when they were building airplanes and cars as well. So, looking at this car specifically, this is a different bit of ownership when this company first came out. So they're a Dutch manufacturer that would have been building this car. Now, the Spyder was sort of the more standard car. They sold about 140 of them. There's a lot of very unique components on this car, from things like the badge in the front, which has a propeller on it, to the wheels also inspired to look like a propeller. And then this car, which would have had a different steering wheel on it, has been modified with the propeller steering wheel, which didn't meet US crash safety regulations, but somehow the buyer for this car managed to pick one up from one of the dealerships and was able to fit it to this car. So that's a pretty unique thing there. Now, power plant. So obviously there's a lot of bespoke components on this car that make it very unique and very hard to replace. But one of the things that is kind of reused is power comes from a 4.2 liter Audi V8 that's producing about 395 horsepower that allows this car to accelerate to about 186 miles per hour. So it's a pretty fast car, very lightweight with mostly aluminum construction. Now, in the rear there, it does have a transaxle, so you're looking at a 6-speed manual transaxle. And one of the cool things is it's very similar to Pagani in terms of having the mechanical release for the manual transmission, so you can actually see the linkages that go back to the transaxle in the back of the car behind that Audi V8. Now, this car has a ton of detail to it. The amount of detail that goes into this is simply immaculate. There's so much chrome, a lot of intricate details in terms of the machine-turned dash, lots of things that you just don't see replicated on any other car. There's also a lot of really odd things like the little chrome bar and the little window that kind of shows, allows the window still roll down, but still fits kind of odd. You actually have one-piece mirrors on the car, including some very unique taillights, and then the gas cap is actually hidden in the top of one of the fenders in the rear. So what happened to Spyker? You may not have heard about them in the news recently, so let's talk about that a little bit more. Spyker, the company, although the Spyder was in production for a while with the last models being sold about 2011, even though this is a 2008 car that's supposed to sell somewhere between about $425,000 and about $450,000 value-wise. Hard to find replacement parts for these because Spyker unfortunately started looking for a way out in 2011 when the company was actually sold to a Swedish company. Now, when that Swedish company purchased it, they found a hard time trying to get the company lucrative. And of course, eventually in 2015, Spyker, the company, would actually go out of business. And thus, you would cease the production of all of these cool Spykers and all of the cool quirks that would be associated with these cars. So you do see them from time to time, like events like this, but unfortunately, you won't find any more from here. But that's what we had this video for. Now, if you're interested in purchasing a collector car for yourself, be sure to check out AutoHunter.com, which is our online auctions with cars going live every single weekday, or ClassicCars.com, which is our online marketplace with cars going live every single day, and over 30,000 cars currently live on the site. If you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and hit that like button for us. We really appreciate it, and get subscribed for more content like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching.